A trans woman just won a swim meet in the NCAA swimming championship, and here's the story. Penn State, was it Penn State? Penn swimmer Leah Thomas becomes first trans woman to win NCAA swimming tournament. University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas made history Thursday by becoming the first transgender woman to win an NCAA swimming competition in Division I. But not everyone was thrilled about her victory. There were barely any cheers after she won. And some attendees held signs saying, "Save women's sports," in the stands at the Georgia Tech facility, protesting the swimmer who once swam for the men's team for 3 seasons. Thomas, who entered the competition as a top seed, finished the 500-yard freestyle with a season best time of 4 minutes. 4 minutes, 33.24 seconds. The race was close until the last 100 yards, with Virginia's Emma Wyatt finishing second at 4:34.99, whatever. I didn't have a whole lot of expectation for this beat, Thomas said. I was just happy to be here and race and compete the best I could. Leah did everything right. Trans swimmer Leah Thomas winning NCAA should spark a legitimate debate, not hate. That's just an opinion and whatever. Thomas began transitioning in 2019 with hormone therapy and followed NCAA and Ivy League rules. However, she faced scrutiny inside and outside the sport about if transgender women and girls should be allowed to participate in female sports. All right, here's my take on this. All right. I think that if I was to ask extremely liberal people, right? Because more or less this is more, I won't say pushed, but I say it's more pushed from the liberal side than conservative side, right? Mm-hmm. If I were to ask a bunch of liberal women and say, hey, do you believe that, a lot of times throughout history, men have taken opportunities away from women? And more than likely, they would say yes. Mm-hmm. There have been a lot of men throughout American history who have taken opportunities away from women. Mm-hmm. And these are the same women that will say trans women are women. That in itself is pretty hypocritical. But what I will say ultimately is at some point we have to understand that we're creating a landscape that is kind of problematic. Now, what I'll say is if someone has came to the conclusion that they want to be trans, that's completely okay. But then the lines get a little bit blurred when you've been a man all of your life and you transition into a woman and you compete against women and beat them. I think that's a problem, dog. I do not agree with that. And the reason why is if you say you support women, then you cannot, if you say you support women, then how can you support someone who just transitioned and beat every woman in the meet? This dude was 400, and as a man, he was ranked 462. As a woman, he's number one. Mm-hmm. That'll tell you the disparity between men and women as far as physicality. Mm-hmm. Men have an unfair advantage because we have testosterone. This is not transphobic. This is science.
Yeah.
Science backs up the fact that men have an advantage because we have testosterone.
And I mean, outside of the testosterone, just physically bigger.
Yeah.
So your wingspan is bigger. I don't know how your arm length and all that equates to like a longer stroke in the swimming pool, but I'm
Leah's
sure all of this.
6'4".
Yeah, it's just like
this is beyond not okay. Mm-hmm. And it's not saying it's not okay because she's trans. It's not okay because she's not a woman biologically, and it's not okay.
I just don't trust human nature.
No,
I think that I made the trans Armstrong joke back in the day.
What? I didn't hear that. Wait, what?
Remember the girl? She was like competing. She was like a cyclist, and she had won some record.
Oh no, I don't
Remember
know.
that? It was like part of my stand-up bit or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So like, yeah, she was the girl. She won a cycling thing, and then I was just like, you can't really be the Trans Armstrong of women cycling and
Oh,
expect
my
us not
God.
to say nothing. But I just don't trust. I don't trust human nature. So I know that there are people that can take advantage of this.
Yes.
It's one thing to feel, in your depths of your soul that you were born in the wrong body and all this. But, when it comes to competitive sports, I know that if I'm a guy, and me, I was like a pretty decent athlete, but I know that if somehow I was able to transition, like I would be able to dominate women's sports.
Yeah.
Like imagine you hooping, playing against women, or me hooping, playing against women, running track against women and stuff like that. Like I would be like, for sure, D1 athlete. I just know how humans are. And I know that, trying to, the reason I say that too, and like part of my joke was like, there are people that take steroids like Lance Armstrong.
Right.
That take steroids for a competitive advantage.
Right.
So this is almost like taking steroids. Like if you're transitioning from a man to a woman and you have the height advantage, you have the strength advantage and all these things. And of course, the testosterone blockers and stuff, they may do something, but it's just you 6'4" still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Here's the thing. I think you can have an objective stance about this without being transphobic. But I think what's happening now is when you step outside of conventional thought, people will label you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to cap. I'm not about to sit here and act like it's cool. If I have a daughter and she's into sports and I'm supporting her, and a man that now transitioned into a woman beats my daughter, I'm going to be mad as fuck. I'm not going to be mad at the trans girl. I'm going to be mad at the fucking whole, I'm going to be mad at the institution for allowing this shit to happen.
Yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. And then people will say, well, you're hiding your transphobia through this. No, I ain't transphobic. I don't think you should hate people by, however they feel or what they wanted to choose to do with their bodies. But what I will say is this: you should not appropriate everything. We need to stop appropriating everything. We need to stop it. We need to stop. When are we gonna say that enough is enough? This shit, we can't keep doing this, bro. Mm-hmm. We cannot keep doing this. What's the new one is transracial? So you could be a white man from the age all the way up to the age of 21 and say, I'm a black man. No, you're not. You're not black, dude. Okay? You've been black for 2 weeks. The fuck is wrong with you, man? We cannot keep appropriating everything. At some point, we got to say enough is enough. Yeah. And you can do that while not hating someone. Mm-hmm. You can do that without being a hateful person and say, hey, no, we can't do this. Because if this is not an advantage, then why is it not an advantage the other way around? Are there women that are transitioning into men going to the NBA? No, because we have an advantage as men. There's only an advantage going one way. There are not women that are able to take testosterone or steroids that go into men's sports.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it because there are limitations. Women have limitations when it comes down to going the other way. You never see the advantage the other way for a reason. Mm-hmm. And let's be very clear. And I'm going to say this. It may come off bad, but God damn it, I got to say it. If you are a man all the way up to the age of whatever age, 21, 20, 19, whatever, and you transition into a woman, you still will never understand what a woman goes through. You just won't. You just won't. You can never quantify what a woman goes through based on your limited experience as a woman. Mm-hmm. This is just, I cannot cap. I cannot cap and say that, a trans woman is a woman. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I'm not about to sit out here and say something hateful, but I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. I could dance around it and all of that, but I'm not, bro. A trans woman is not a woman. It is a trans woman. Mm-hmm. Period. And the fact that women are getting pissed off now. There were women at the meet saying, there was one that was a swimmer that says it's not right that they're coming into our sport and dominating the sport. We don't like this.
It was all good just a week ago.
It was all good just a week ago.
It's probably some of those same people that were like supportive of the idea, and then they started, you started lining up next to 6'5", 6'6" athletes, trans athletes.
Okay, right now, if there was a woman's powerlifting meet, right, in a men's powerlifting meet, I'll get killed out there. I'm a pretty strong dude, but there are dudes that have been lifting for years and have way more experience than me, whether it's deadlift, squat, whatever. I'll go to a woman's powerlifting meet right now and dominate and be a record holder and knock off all those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up.
And technically, you can still keep your genitalia.
Yeah.
You want to knock down some women after you break a record in the deadlift.
That'll be crazy. I'm out there with a cock just knocking all the records down. That's fucked up. That's crazy, dude. And the thing about it is I'm not going to sit here and
what if they did it in like retrospect?
What do you mean?
What if Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce's records got shifted to the women's side, and then he just got re-awarded all kind of records and stuff.
Oh my God, dude, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I just think at some point, bro, dog, we have to figure out when is enough, bro. When is enough? And then like don't try to label me transphobic. Please don't label me transphobic, because I actually can see what's going on here. Like and then the thing about it is a lot of the what do you call it, the not excuses but reasons for it, like, no, there's no advantage there. I don't get why. Where's there an advantage?
Mm-hmm.
You're just homophobic. You're just transphobic. There's clearly no advantage because she's a trans woman. Trans women are women. Like, where the fuck did this logic come from?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Since when has it? This is anecdotal. This is not science. I'm sorry. There was a dude that made a great point, and he said that you can find bones from thousands of years ago. If archaeologists find bones and shit like that, and down to our very fibers as men and women, you can tell, once the genitalia then disappeared and everything, you can tell who is who based on the fucking bones. All the way down to our DNA, we are men or women. Mm-hmm. That's what we are. Why is that controversial to say? Have we reached a point where that's a problem? Like, I'm not about to sit here and cap for nobody. I'm not about to be hateful towards nobody that's trans, but I'm not about to sit here and say the shit that we supposed to say because that's considered politically correct now. Mm-hmm. Man, fuck all that. No. If I have a daughter one day, I do not want her going through this. If she worked her ass off since she was a little girl all the way till she in college, and she wanted to get first place and lose, I'm not gonna be mad at a person like Leah Thomas. I'm mad at the institution for allowing it. Mm-hmm. If this is the case, and trans people want to compete, then just create another. I feel like you should create another type of race. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not like racial, but I'm talking about another division.
Well, they already split up into boy and girl, so they could just have another, like, what if they compete in the Special Olympics?
You know what, motherfucker? God damn it, Keith. Shit. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. This fucking guy. Oh, this is gonna be some people upset there too.
Oh man!
Oh my
Hashtag
God.
cancel Keith, man.
Oh man! Hashtag cancel Keith. That's nuts, man. I think that this is what I think. I think that regardless of where you align politically or if you're apolitical, whatever you are, you have to see where the extremes are. right?
Yeah.
The conservative extremes, the liberal extremes. This is the liberal extremes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a liberal extreme to act like there are no advantages. That, like, there's no advantages for men that go into women's sports.
Yeah.
That is just not. Yeah. What's crazy is, like, this was unfathomable. Like, I've never grown up having to see this. This has only really became a thing in the last, like, 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah. It's just strange because I think the idea of being a liberal is like always pushing, like the progressive, they get the progressive label versus the conservative on the other side. But it's just always pushing, whether it's the pronouns or
too much.
the trans or certain rights and the inclusion in films, and it's
too much.
It starts to become like I feel like there needs to be like a organic acclimation to all this ideology.
Yeah.
But it feels like I was gonna say force it down our throats, but I don't even want to use
Whoa.
that term. But it feels like they're just trying to like force these. Well, you can't force it down our throats because it's getting chopped off.
Oh no.
But it's one of those things that it just starts to feel like unnatural after a while.
Here's the most fucked up part about it. This month is National Women's Month.
And then a trans woman won the
race.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. And here's another statement. And it was somebody having an argument on TikTok where the woman says, she said, like, if a man said he doesn't like trans women, oh baby, you are transphobic. A trans woman is a woman. Hello. Yeah. I like women.
Yeah.
I don't have to like trans women, and it doesn't make me transphobic.
Some people don't even like women with like fake butts. So it's I think it's comparable in a sense to where like we all have our own tastes. You know what I mean? So if you see a trans woman and you realize she got breast implants and butt injections and certain surgeries and stuff like that, you may be obviously you're probably not attracted to them because they once used to be a man, but you're probably also on just a surface level. You just don't like the plastic and all that other stuff that's going on in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep though, because even a woman with BBL or plastic or whatever is still biologically a woman.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like on a basic human level, like if they did want to throw that at you, you could be like, well, it's not even that deep. I don't even like just fake anything.
Well, that's gonna be offensive.
What?
So you're calling me fake? Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a tough go at that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, it's a tough conversation when you actually care about how you're relaying it. Like you care about how you're putting your opinion out there when you actually care. Mm-hmm. When you actually are not a hateful person, when you actually are not transphobic, when you actually are like we did not misgender Leah once. Mm-hmm. We said, hey, she used to be a man. Mm-hmm. But what I'm also stating is that biologically, in a race against women, she clearly has an advantage. Mm-hmm. So if that's considered transphobic, then, I mean, y'all could just go ahead and unsubscribe, man. Because the thing about it is, me and Keith, when we talk about things like this, we like, I said, do you want to talk about this, Keith? Or do you want to just skip around it? He's like, no, we can talk about it. Mm-hmm. So I think when it came down to it, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
This ain't the first conversation we had about the trans.
Yeah.
We said that we had I forgot what the other conversation was about. I think it had to do with the one trans woman in MMA that was just beating the shit out of women. I'm talking about, there was a trans woman, I forgot her name, but she was just cracking these girls' skulls, just fucking them up.
That's not fair, bro.
And it's just not fair. It ain't fair to women. If you say you support women, you cannot support this. Mm-hmm. You cannot support this. If you say you support women, you cannot. I'm putting a line in the sand right here. Mm-hmm. Okay. From now on, if you say that you support women and you watching women getting their skulls cracked in MMA, you watching them get outswam, okay? And what's the next one? Is track and field? What's next?
There's already some in the track and field.
Oh, there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know where they won't go? Gymnastics.
Why is that?
Just because women have an advantage in gymnastics.
Women
as far as
dominate too hard.
Flexibility and stuff like that.
Yeah, women dominate too much.
Mm-hmm. And you got to be a little bit shorter. So, yeah. Throw these trans women in the sports that women have a distinct advantage at.
There are certain sports where women don't have an advantage or disadvantage. I feel like NASCAR is probably one of them.
Yeah,
because Danica Patrick was doing her thing for years.
Yeah, she was in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, but I mean, she still was doing her thing. It's some motherfuckers that didn't be in the middle of the pack on average.
Yeah, she was a girl that did it.
Yeah, she sure did.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't great, but she was cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
What's another sport?
That's the thing. Like it just only comes up when it's a distinct advantage, when there's strength involved, speed involved.
What I find weird though, and this is no slight to Brittany Griner, what I've noticed is her voice is extremely deep, and she is a woman. But what's seeming like what's going on is she is probably taking testosterone, and that's not okay either. And she's a woman.
Yeah.
You know, and when you listen to her in an interview, the voice is literally like a man's.
Yeah.
My issue is where do we blur the lines? Like things like steroids, anabolic steroids are illegal, right? How is it legal to take estrogen?
I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, this guy, man. You good, man?
Yeah, I'm straight.
All right, Keith got to take a shit. He'll be back. You got that? Does it unlock? All right, cool. All right, well, Keith let me here alone to talk about the most wild conversation while he ran out to go take a shit. This is what he always does. I'm getting so tired of this guy. It seems like every other episode he's doing it. This is just ridiculous. I wish we had somebody that could sit in or somebody editing the podcast that could just hop in the seat. But no, here we are. Keith's gone. He left a warm seat because he had to take a dump. Now he has hot dump butt in the seat, and he ran out the fucking office. All right.